Good afternoon to you. I hope you are having a super duper day. We are back with you once more. English Addict is with you, coming to you live from the birthplace on a beautiful summer's day. The birthplace of the English language, which is, of course, you know where it is. We all know where it is. It is England. It's a hot one today. Oh, there you are. Hi, everybody. This is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you feeling happy today? I hope you are feeling super duper on this Sunday. It is a very sunny Sunday. If you remember last week, we were outside. Today we are in the studio, although I am regretting doing it in here because it's so hot in the studio right now. My name is Duncan. I talk about the English language. You might say that I am an English addict. That is what it says on my t-shirt. And I have a feeling maybe you are one of those as well. Thank you for joining me. We have made it all the way to Sunday once again. It's a busy week. It's been a busy one. Not only in this country, but also around the world. Lots of things going on. You might say that things are heating up. Or we can also say hotting up. Hotting up. If something is hotting up, it means it is getting more exciting or maybe more active. Talking of which, yesterday apparently we had one of the largest solar flares that came all the way to our planet and said, hello there, hello, I come from the sun and I am here to disrupt all of your radio signals. Apparently the largest one for 20 years. Doesn't seem that long, actually, when you think about it. Anyway, we have sunspots. We have sunspots before our eyes. I hope you don't get sunstroke. If you spend too much time outside in the sun, you might get sunstroke. You have too much sun. The heat will overwhelm you and you will pass out, faint, or even die. Oh my goodness. I hope you are okay anyway. It is a hot one. We have a hot day. It was very hot yesterday, and I thought it would be a good idea to talk about hot words connected to heat, hot, maybe hot weather, maybe a situation that is too hot to handle. All of that coming up a little bit later on. Quite a few things to mention. Can I first of all mention the get-together? We are having a reunion next month in around about 4 weeks from now. Can you believe it? I am so excited because Mr. Steve and myself, we are going to meet up with some of you. If you would like to meet up with us, we will be in Rome, Italy. We will be having. Can you see how excited I am? We will be having a roam around Rome. You know what they say, when in Rome, do what the Romans do. And we will be doing that. We will be very sociable at the start of June. If you want to get in touch with me, if you are interested in joining us, here is my email address. I will put it on the screen now. If you would like to join us in Rome, please leave your real name, your actual name, and also make sure I can contact you as well by email, because I will be putting you on the mailing list. So all of the details will be coming your way. All you have to do is write to me first of all, please, and let me know who you are, and I will give you all of the details. I have to say, I am pretty excited. Already I've bought a new pair of shorts, and one of the reasons why I've bought a new pair of shorts is because they are slightly smaller than the size I normally wear, and that is to get me to do a little bit more exercise, become more fit, and hopefully lose a little bit of weight so I can fit into my lovely shorts when we are in Rome together. We will be roaming around Rome at the start of June. I hope you will join me then. Lots of things coming up today. I hope the live chat is happy. Hello, live chat. I wonder who was first on today's live chat. Oh, very interesting. We have Beatrice. Congratulations, Beatrice. You are first on today's live chat. And yes, I am looking forward to meeting you in Rome. We have quite a few people now saying that they will be there. So quite a few people will be joining us in Rome at the start of June. I think it will be more than last year when we did our rendezvous in Paris. We might have around 8 or maybe 10 people joining us when we are roaming around Rome. So if you want to get in touch, if you are interested, please let me know. Hello also to, he is here, of course. It wouldn't be a live stream without Luis Mendez. He's here today. Hello, Luis. Nice to see you back as well. I hope you are having a good time there. Also, we have Saika Afridi. Hello to you. Thank you for joining me again. Vitas is here. Hello, Vitas. You were not first today, but maybe next week you will. Maruts is here. Also, we have Maruzio as well. Very similar sounding names. Quite interesting, in fact. Palmyra is here. Thank you very much for joining me. I want to say hello to as many people as possible. Claudia. Hello, Claudia. Hello also to Haitham Gassa. Hello to you. I don't recognise your name. Thank you very much for joining me today. Very nice to see you as well. Roberto. Hello, Roberto. It's nice to see you here as well. Franco. We have Franco on the live chat. Also, we have Marianne, who says, Mr. Duncan, you have 2 weeks to go. Oh, you have the right 2 weeks ago regarding the learning English as a second language. I did not realise my mother language can be useful for learning a second language. Yes, Marianne, that is a good piece of advice that I do give to anyone who is worried about learning English as a second language. Don't forget, if you already have your own language, then you can use that to help you learn English. Trust me, it does work. It does definitely work. Hello also to Zudzika. Hello, Zudzika as well. Claudio says, in Rome you will eat beautiful food. I am Italian. Hello, Claudio. Can I just say I am looking forward to going to Italy for many reasons, but one reason that is very high up on my list is, of course, the food. I can't wait to try the food. If I was honest with you, I really can't wait to have lots of real genuine Italian food. So that is one of the things I'm definitely looking forward to today. Can I give you your 15-minute warning? Here we go. I'm going to put it on the screen for those who are waiting for Mr. Steve. Don't worry, Steve will be with us in around about 15 minutes time. We are talking about lots of things. We might mention the Eurovision Song Contest. Oh dear, what can I say? It would appear these days that it is hard to do anything without having some sort of controversy or some sort of argument or maybe fighting taking place. So even the Eurovision Song Contest has become a very hot topic, but for the wrong reasons. So a lot of people have been getting very angry. Now, I grew up with the Eurovision Song Contest. It was every year, and all of the songs would be instantly forgettable. The next day you wouldn't remember any of the songs. However, this year people have been getting rather angry about the Eurovision Song Contest. It is something that takes place every year. It is supposed to be fun. It is supposed to bring people together with one common interest, which is, of course, to produce music. So the whole idea of the Eurovision Song Contest is to bring people together in harmony, literally in harmony. However, it would appear that a lot of people have been getting rather angry about that. So maybe we will talk about that with Mr. Steve today. Hot words connected to heat and being hot. Talking of which, in the garden it is very hot. We have some lovely weather at the moment, and I would like to show you the flower or plant that we mentioned last week when we were outside. The rhododendron. Rhododendron is a type of flower. It is very beautiful, and you will often see it at this time of year. And here is the one that is in the garden. So this is the one that is in my garden at the moment. And I filmed this yesterday whilst the sun was out. And look, you can see there are so many flowers coming out on the rhododendron. So every year that goes by, this particular plant becomes larger and larger. And this year, it appears to be producing the largest amount or the largest number of flowers that I've ever seen. Of course, this particular flower can also be other colours as well, including white. So you can have white rhododendrons, but this particular one is pink, a lovely pink colour. So I have to say, I'm looking forward to seeing all of the flowers out in the garden this year. And I think one of the reasons why many of the flowers have come out much stronger this year is because we've had a rather mild winter and also a very wet spring. So I think this year all of the plants and the flowers in the garden, I think they are all going to be rather, maybe surprisingly bright, and maybe lots of them around. So there it was, the rhododendron. It is doing very well at the moment in the garden. It is looking quite spectacular. Another thing I wanted to mention as well, we haven't had any animals at the back of the house yet. So normally, at this time of year, there is normally something in the field at the back of the house. But this year, I don't know why, it's been very quiet at the back of the house. We have no animals, no sheep, no cows, nothing. has arrived. So I am starting to get a little bit worried and concerned, because I do know that the man who owns the land at the back of the house, he's not very well at the moment. He has been suffering severe ill health over the past couple of years. So I'm just wondering if that has something to do with it. But sadly, we don't have any cows and we have no sheep in the garden or at the back of the garden, unfortunately, at the moment, which is a shame because all the grass has come up at the back of the house. It looks quite amazing, to be honest. But sadly, there are no animals there to enjoy it, unfortunately. Hello, who else is here today? Oh, Francesco. Hello, Francesco. Mr. Duncan, you will become addicted to being in Rome. Yes, I think so. I am really looking forward to it. I can't wait to experience the atmosphere, the feeling of being in Rome. Apparently, and this is what I've heard from other people, Rome is a very busy place, bustling. So if a place is bustling, it means it is very busy. Lots of traffic, lots of people. And certainly in June, I would imagine a lot of tourists will be there as well, including me. I will be one of those tourists. So I'm looking forward to meeting up with you. In around about 4 weeks, we will be in Rome, and hopefully we will also be able to do a live stream as well. So I'm hoping whilst we are in Rome, we will be live on YouTube as well at some point. Palmyra says the title of Eurovision is United by Music, but in reality it is not. People are so furious. Now, I don't want to talk about this too much because Mr. Steve might also want to say something about it in a few moments from now. But it seems these days you can't do anything without having a little bit of controversy. So if something is controversial, it normally means that people will discuss that particular thing in a very heated way. So maybe there will be an aspect or part of it that people disagree with, thus causing controversy. But it would appear that everything nowadays causes some sort of disagreement or outrage. Have you noticed? Can you think of something at the moment that everyone is fighting about? Not only Eurovision, but other things as well. Quite often movies. When a new movie comes out, and maybe it is a new version of a movie that was made many years ago, a lot of people become angry because certain things have been changed. So it would appear quite often these days it is very hard to do anything without having some sort of controversy or some sort of trouble taking place. Hello to the live chat. Nice to see you here. Elaf. Hello, Elaf Elias. Hello to you. Nice to see you as well. Very nice to see you here. Lots of people joining in. If you'd like to say hello, please don't be shy, because I know a lot of people do like to join in, and some people are quite shy. Don't be shy. Give it a try. You never know, you might like it. I always like to talk about things related to human behaviour. When we talk about human behaviour, we often talk about the way people interact or communicate, the types of relationships that can happen between people. I am quite fascinated by those things. Maybe in a certain situation you might find these particular words being used. I would imagine the following words that I am going to show you might relate to being at work or in a job of some sort. For example, here is a great phrase: to suck up to someone. To suck up to someone. If you suck up to someone, it means you are being nice to them. You are being kind to that person. Maybe you are being too kind. Maybe you are being too much with your admiration for that person. So maybe at work you might find that someone in the office or someone at work will be sucking up to the boss because maybe they want some sort of favour later. So quite often in the workplace we often find there are people who will suck up to someone, especially if they want something. So perhaps you are in a job where you are going to get some sort of promotion, or maybe there is a chance that your job will somehow get better. Maybe you will get more money in your salary. You might try to get favour from the boss. You will suck up to the boss. Another way of describing it, of course, is crawl. Maybe you crawl around someone. So your behaviour is not natural. You're not behaving in a natural way. You are being too kind, or maybe you are using too many compliments towards someone because you want that person to like you. You want that person to give you some favours. Quite often in a work environment, the boss, someone who can make lots of decisions that can change your life. Perhaps you will feel as if you have to be kind to the boss. You have to say nice things to your manager. You have to keep them happy all the time. You might have to crawl around that person. You are trying to win their favour. Another way we can describe it, to be a sycophant. Sycophant. A sycophant is a person who will always agree with someone because they are trying to stay on their right side. Maybe a person who doesn't want to upset someone else will always say nice things to them. Oh, you are such a nice person. Oh, you are a great person. You are a wonderful boss. You are so amazing. We might describe that person as a sycophant. They are being sycophantic. They are trying to be too kind, too nice. They will never say anything negative to that person. They are a sycophant. Another word we can use is brown nose. If you are a brown nose, it means you are a person who is always creeping or crawling or saying nice things to the boss because you want them to like you. You are a brown nose. I would love to tell you the reason why we use that expression, but I might get taken off YouTube. Let's just say your nose is in a particular place, which is why it gets brown. So a person who will always creep, they will always say nice things to try and win someone else's favour. We can describe that person as a sycophant. And there, I think, is an interesting word. Mr. Steve will be with us soon. So don't worry, Steve will be with us. Please don't panic. Please don't worry. Please don't be afraid. Steve is on his way. A quick break And then we will be back with lots of Mr. Steve. We also have today's topic, which is all about words and phrases connected to heat. Don't go away. English Addict is with you today. And yes, you know what is coming in a few moments from now. Mr. Steve is on his way. He's just in the corner of the studio, getting ready, doing his stretches. English Addict is here today. I hope you are having a good Super Sunday. English Addict for those who are learning English, and even if you are not learning English, because I know we have a lot of people watching who are not even learning English. They know English already. And they just want to come along and see what this is all about. Well, I will tell you what it's all about right now, because he's here. He is back with us. We have a lot of things to talk about. We have words and phrases connected to heat and being hot. We also have the solar flares that have been causing lots of problems on planet Earth. We also have Eurovision. I don't know why, but I think it's a good idea. And of course we have you, and we have Mr. Steve as well. Yes, he is here, everyone.
Hello, wonderful viewers from across the globe, the universe, everywhere. We've got people on Mars watching, Mr. Duncan, apparently. I had a message this morning sent to me. It's wonderful to be here, Mr. Duncan, and it's nice to get messages from people like Elias, who says that they missed me.
Oh.
So thank you very much for that. Well, I'm here now, so you've got my full attention. Anything you want to ask, anything you want to say, just put it on the live chat and we can interact with you over the internet.
I do like that word, by the way, interact. So to communicate with each other, to converse in a friendly way. Isn't that lovely? If only the whole world could follow our example, and then maybe things would be lovely. So my name is Mr. Duncan. I will put them on the screen so you know. I'm Duncan, and that over there is Mr. Steve. And now the introductions are done. Have you had a good week, Mr. Steve? Because I know for a fact you have been rather busy with your job. We had a nice time in Birmingham. You went to Birmingham with your job, and I was hiding in Mr. Steve's suitcase as well.
No, you went completely separately, Mr. Duncan. You didn't come with me at all. You went completely separately.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I didn't stay with Mr. Steve at the hotel. I was actually sleeping on a bench outside New Street Station in Birmingham.
I didn't want to get into trouble, so I said to Mr. Duncan, I'm sorry, you're going to have to go and sleep on a bench.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I did. Fortunately, the weather wasn't too bad. So I was able to have a lovely, cool night on the bench outside.
And I believe you earned quite a lot of money by offering your services.
Yeah. I did get some offers.
Passing gentlemen.
I did get some offers for my body, but I was also very busy giving refunds later on as well. Yeah. Here we are then. It's a hot one. Now, I don't know what happened to the weather, because today was supposed to be wet with rain and thunder and lightning, but outside the weather is glorious. It's about 23, maybe 24 Celsius at the moment, and very hot and sunny. So I don't know what happened to all of that bad weather we were supposed to get today. It was supposed to become really, really bad.
Well, of course, with thunderstorms, it depends where you are, they can miss you and go somewhere else. We often miss them here because of the hills. I think they scoot round the edge.
Yes.
There's a good word, scooting. Something scoots round the edge. It means it sort of deviates, doesn't it? Deviates round the edge, scooches in a sort of almost a sort of secretive way.
To scoot means glide, so it will glide around something. So scoot normally means glide. It almost appears as if you're floating.
You can scooch around another person. It just means you go round them carefully, doesn't it?
Yes.
As you say, glide around them. Can I just scooch around you?
Is it scooch or scoot?
Is it scoot?
Scoot.
I've just made up a word then.
Okay.
You know, this is English. I've made up a word, scooch. Is it scoot, is it? Yes, scoot, I think you're right.
Yes.
Well, we've got off to a bad start. I am only your assistant.
Yes,
you know.
We know.
I think that word does exist. I've just invented it.
Yeah, I think scooch means move in an awkward way. Scooch over.
Yeah.
Or move over. But scoot is to go round something, which is what you were saying about the weather. Scooting round.
Yeah.
Going
or
around
scooching.
the edge. Anyway, we have a lot of things to talk about. A lot of people getting angry about Eurovision. The Eurovision Song Contest was held last night, the final. A lot of people getting angry for various reasons. Switzerland was the winner. Switzerland won with a song that already I've forgotten. Isn't that great? Have you noticed that? Every time the Eurovision Song Contest comes along, all of the songs are completely forgotten within around about 25 or 30 minutes after the thing finishing. And a few people were complaining because it's not gay enough this year. Apparently they're asking, why wasn't it gay enough?
Who's complaining about that?
No one.
The gay people, probably.
I was being sarcastic. I was being sarcastic, Steve. There is
Eurovision. I haven't watched it for many, many years.
Well, do you remember you and I went to the dress rehearsal for the Eurovision Song Contest many, many years ago. I think it was the year or the year after Dana International won it. Do you remember?
I do, yes. I got some complimentary tickets, complimentary or free tickets. So I can't remember how I got them now.
It doesn't matter.
But I got free tickets and we went to the Birmingham NIA,
Yes.
the National Indoor Arena, and we saw, but it was for, as you say, it was for the dress rehearsal.
Yes. So normally before the big show, they normally have what they call a run-through or a dress rehearsal. So we were able to actually go and see that, not the actual real final. But it was still good fun watching it all happen and seeing all of the singers and the stars. But this year, lots of controversy for various reasons. Normally, we think of the Eurovision Song Contest as being something rather comical or fun, something to bring people together. But it would appear this year it has been the opposite. It has been dividing people all over the place.
Does anybody still watch Eurovision? So can we ask, we're talking about it, did anybody actually watch it? We have a lot of people watching in Europe, although of course the Eurovision isn't strictly about Europe. Originally I think it was, but there's many countries that aren't in Europe. But anybody watching us today, did you watch Eurovision last night?
Well, apparently the viewing for it was the highest ever, or one of the highest ever, because of all of the trouble. So because of all of the arguments and controversy, more people than ever watched the final last night.
Of course, that is exactly why they created the controversy in the first place, so that they would get more people watching it, because then they get more ad revenue and etc. etc.
It would
all have been created. I mean, it was Eurovision is just a fairly naff singing contest. Most of the artists, most of the songs are pretty poor quality. Everybody knows it's a bit of a joke, and yet it was headline news on all channels in the UK.
Well, around the world.
Yesterday.
They're talking about it everywhere, by the way, Steve.
I know. So it just shows you.
Every country was watching last night, not just Europe, but the whole world.
Why does Eurovision get the top prime spot in the news, and it's just totally naff? I mean, there's far more important things.
You're being a bit naive, Steve. You're being a bit naive there. There was only one reason why.
Well, I know, I've already said that. Yes, I know it was all orchestrated.
Well, no, it wasn't orchestrated.
I'm sure
it's just the fact that people will argue about everything now. You can't do anything nowadays, Steve, without someone somewhere being offended or finding a problem with it, or having some sort of argument or fight. But yes, I do partly agree. It did increase the number of people watching because of all of the controversy. But that's what happens these days. And I think you can't do anything these days. You can't release a book. You can't release a movie. You can't even have free speech for most of the time. Because someone somewhere will become angry and upset.
Can I just mention somebody, Maurizio Lanucci. Maurizio Lanucci,
yes.
I think I pronounced that correctly, has asked, have you received their email? They want to come and see us in Rome.
Well, it depends when you sent it. I mean, I've replied to everyone so far who has written to me. So I did send a reply yesterday to the latest one. So we have about maybe 9 or 10 people joining us. Steve.
And I know. It's incredible, Mr. Duncan. We're going to have to hire a room, I think, at this rate.
Well, we won't be doing that.
I know, I'm joking. Yeah. But yes, it'll be fantastic. And so Maurizio Lanucci. Hope I've pronounced that correctly. Please tell me if I have. And we will look out for your email. Send it again, just in case Mr. Duncan's missed it, but I don't think he has. I think he's...
Well, I haven't checked my emails today.
If it's today, then no. That's it. That could be the answer.
I've been kind of busy doing this.
So Mr. Duncan will have been preparing today. So if you sent it today, then he won't have seen it because he hasn't checked his emails today because he's been busy preparing for the live stream.
That's it.
That's all you've got to say, Mr. Duncan.
That's it. So if you want to get in touch, there is the email address if you are serious about it. So don't just write and say, I might. If you are serious about it and you want to meet up, give us your details and I'm going to create a mailing list with everyone on it. And then I will give more details because it's only 4 weeks away. Can you believe it?
I know, several days ago apparently. So we'll look out for that.
Oh.
Mr. Duncan does receive a lot of emails, so we'll have a double check on that.
Yes, well, I get hundreds of junk mail,
and it could have gone into the junk. We hope not. So we will look out for your. I'm writing down your surname.
Yes, but anyway, Steve.
Yeah, fine.
Okay,
yeah, I'm just
that's
doing
fine.
that.
Just send another email to me, and I'll have a look later. So don't worry too much
on
about
here.
it.
We'll look it up later.
Yes. But I have a feeling it may have gone into my junk mail because I get about 1,000 junk emails every month.
Brilliant, thank you.
So I do have to be careful. So sometimes I can miss your emails. But please get in touch if you would like to meet up with us in Rome. Oh, fancy pants. Very nice. Talking of pants, I have a new pair of shorts that I am now going to lose weight and try and fit into, and hopefully I will. Mr. Steve, did you see the flashing lights?
I haven't seen the. Are you referring to the Northern Lights, as we call them here? Yes, created by the expulsions from the sun. Apparently, yes, it's been pretty spectacular, and we can't normally see it in the UK unless you go very far north. But apparently, we haven't seen it, have we? I think we forgot about it and didn't go outside to have a look.
Well, sadly, first of all, we're too far away, so we can't see it. Also, last night, it was complete cloud cover. But apparently, further north, North England, and of course into Scotland, a lot of people were enjoying the Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights, and apparently it was spectacular, and even in other parts of the world people could see the solar flares as they were passing through the Earth's atmosphere, because of course the sun is very active at the moment with its solar flares. All of these things come off the sun and they travel towards the Earth, and they actually make it all the way to the Earth. But at the moment they are completely crazy. They are going wild. The sun is erupting all of these huge solar flares. I think it's plasma, isn't it?
Electromagnetic radiation hits the atmosphere and interacts particles. I'm not sure exactly how it happens, but yes, it's supposedly it's been disrupting electricity supplies and mobile phone masts.
Yes.
But I haven't heard too much about that. I think maybe in the past we certainly have had disruptions due to the solar flares, but I haven't heard that we've had any disruptions to services this time.
No. I think it depends where you are, and also just at certain times at the peak of it. So it can cause interference with radio signals as well. Fortunately, these days, most people don't even use radio in the old sense of radio. So tuning in your radio like the old days. So because that isn't really done now, a lot of it now is digital, the way it's sent through the atmosphere. But yes, you're right, Steve. Electricity supplies have been disrupted in certain areas. You wouldn't imagine that, would you? You wouldn't imagine the sun, all of those miles away, could actually do something that would affect us in such a dramatic way. But There you go. It just
Yes.
the power of nature.
Inaki says that in northern Spain it could be seen. So that far south. So that's further south than us, Mr. Duncan.
Incredible.
But I was sleeping. So were we. I forgot all about it. We could have gone outside and had a look, but I think it was cloudy. But it would have been a sight to see, as we say. If you say, "Oh, that'll be a sight to see," it means that it'll be something interesting to look at, something interesting to see. A sight to see, something worth looking at.
I suppose you could also say a sight to behold,
Yes.
to look at.
Claudio or Claudio says, "Have we learnt any Italian phrases yet?" Well, the answer is no. Well, I
Pasta.
do know some Italian, but
Pasta.
only from sort of operas or operettas that I've sung.
Okay.
And I don't think, particularly from requiems. So I don't think I'm going to be... I think we are going to learn, or at least I am, some phrases. Can I have a cup of coffee? I would like to order a cup of coffee.
Okay, Steve. Can I have pizza? Can I have pasta? Can I have more food? That's all I need to know, really.
I don't want to be the typical Brit going abroad who doesn't bother to learn anything about the local language. And Italian is... Where could I possibly go, Mr. Duncan? Where could I go to learn some Italian? I don't know. I haven't got a clue. What is there any sort of service or place I could go, maybe on the internet, to learn Italian?
You could go to Italy.
I might go onto YouTube, Mr. Duncan,
Mm-hmm.
and look for an Italian teacher
Italian English.
and learn some Italian phrases, because I want to be Italian. I want to sound.
Well, that does not sound Italian.
But I want to sound I want to be able to, What I wonder what Italian for. Oh, you're nice. Do you want my telephone number?
I think I know that one. It's bellissimo. What? What's wrong with that?
I want all the ones for sort of, if I see a nice Italian man,
That's okay.
I want to be able to converse.
Yes, you say, "Oh, you bellissimo."
You can't. Right? Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah. So there you go. Maybe I should be teaching Italian. So the words that I'm interested in are pizza, lasagna,
But you know those already.
and food. Any food, to be honest. I can't wait. Spaghetti as well. I can't wait to have some spaghetti bolognese, to be honest.
But yes, we will learn. In fact, I'm going to Claudio or Claudio. Is it Claudio or Claudio? Number 1, Claudio. Number 2, Claudio. Which one is it? Claudio, Claudio. Because obviously you are Italian. So we would like to know. So I'm going to learn something next week. Maybe we could have a little session, Mr. Duncan, during our live stream where we practice some phrases and we get our Italian listeners, viewers, to critique our expertise.
Well, Alessandra has already said that my pronunciation was excellent. It was bellissimo.
Yes, one word, Mr. Everybody knows bellissimo.
Well, you didn't.
Okay. Well, I wasn't trying to say anything. Number 1, so it's Claudio. Oh, it's Claudio. And thank you, Elias, who was missing me, but now I'm here. By the way, Pedro also asked after me. Lots of people ask after me. It's so flattering. Have I had a good week? The answer is no. I'm being very blunt. I cannot say, can you, Mr. Duncan? I cannot say that I've had a good week.
Well, I suppose one piece of advice that we can give this week, if you are coming to the UK and you are driving a car, don't go anywhere near Birmingham. It is possibly the worst road system getting in and around Birmingham. It has one of the most confusing, and I suppose over the years there have been many changes to the way the roads and the traffic flows in Birmingham, just like many big cities. It's changed over the years, and it is crazy. And I have to say, Steve, you almost lost your temper.
I got very stressed.
And I can understand why.
I mean, I obviously told you about it afterwards because we went separately. But yes, it was. I found it very stressful. We were stuck in traffic, and I went wrong. I missed the car park, and then just to get 100 yards back to where I was, we were stuck in traffic, and it took us half an hour. There was a train strike in the UK on Wednesday, which meant that all my work colleagues, there were 10 of us, all meeting in Birmingham, right in the centre of Birmingham, had to drive, and the traffic was utter chaos because there was a train strike. This train strike's been going on for nearly 2 years. I think they're waiting for the... and the Conservative government haven't given in to their demands for a pay increase.
Yeah.
Well, they've made offers, but they want some... Anyway, I won't go into that. I think they're waiting for the Labour government to get into power because they know then that they will just cave in and the Labour government will cave into them.
Good.
But yes, it was. So I can't say it's been. I mean, I'm alive. You know, I mean, top line, I'm alive. So it could have been worse.
Yeah.
But there we go.
So we have. Can I have a cup of tea, please? Posso haver una taza de tea, por favor? I know por favor. That's another one. Please, por favor, por favor. It means please. So maybe you want a cup of tea, please. You will say, posso haver una taza de tea. So I would imagine tea is te or tea. Por favor. Can I have a cup of tea, please?
We've got to learn the basics. I do. I have had Italian lessons before because when I've sung things I used to be in a big choir in Birmingham. And we've sung things in Italian, and we used to get lessons on how to pronounce the words because you have to pronounce them correctly. Otherwise, it sounds a bit stupid if you're trying to sing in Italian and you're not pronouncing it correctly. I'm sure we will make the same mistakes that people do because there will be certain consonants and vowels that are pronounced differently than they are in English.
Definitely.
And we've got to avoid trying to make the classic mistakes. In the same way that people who are learning English make those kinds of mistakes when consonants and vowels are pronounced differently in their language. Well, so I will look this up.
Yeah. The big difference, Steve, is, of course, grammar is often different as well between languages. So maybe words sound the same or similar. However, quite often grammar or the order in which words appear in sentences might be the other way round. So that's also something probably to bear in mind as well. It's interesting. How was my Italian? I thought it was quite good. So apparently if there are double letters within an Italian word, you have to stress that sound more. So that's a good tip. So already we are learning, you see.
And Vitas has given me the most important phrase that I'm going to require when I'm in Italy, which is, you are nice, could you give me your phone number?
Oh.
I won't attempt to pronounce that, but that is a phrase. I'm going to write that one down. I'm going to memorise it. And let's see if we get into trouble in Italy.
Yes. We will see what happens. To be honest, well, Italians, of course, are very well known for being passionate, rather like the French.
That's what I'm hoping.
So many people think of the French as being romantic, and we often think of Italians as being quite passionate.
And very expressive in the way that they talk and speak. It's a very expressive language.
Yeah.
And Italians are very expressive in the way that they talk.
What's interesting is sometimes you might hear Italians talking to each other and you think they're arguing, but in fact they're not. They're just having a normal conversation. But to us, if you can't understand the language, it sounds like they're actually arguing and fighting.
It's a bit like some Indian languages. You think that people are arguing, but it's just that's the way the language is pronounced in certain areas of India. But yes, whereas English is known for being a fairly, we're all quietly spoken, and we don't raise our voices when we speak. But it'll be. I can't wait to go, Mr. Duncan. I might just move there.
Yes, it's already. I've been looking at a lot of pictures, and also you can do these wonderful virtual tours around places using Google Maps. And so already I've found that where we are staying, or where we will be staying in Rome, is very close to all the other wonderful sites, including the Vatican City. It's just next to us. Our hotel might actually be opposite to where the Pope sleeps. So we might see him in the morning doing his exercises and having his breakfast. We might give him a wave from our hotel window.
And he might see us doing our exercises.
I hope not. I do mine in the nude. Mr. Duncan, it is enough that you say only the name, and you should be able to get served with spaghetti or ragu bolognese. Oh yes, I do like tomato. Lots of tomatoes, lots of meat, and lots of garlic. And that is the other reason why I'm looking forward to it, Steve. Lots of garlic.
You'll have to learn the Italian for aubergine, if it's not the same, or eggplant.
Yes.
Because I don't think we will be going to restaurants where the food, there is a picture of the food.
No.
We're going to have to learn it.
Yeah. Well, the thing I always say, I've never starved at all in any country that I've been to. When I lived in China, when I first moved to China, I couldn't really speak much Chinese, but I was still able to go to the supermarket and find food and order food. You just use your finger. Your finger is quite good. You just point. You go, that. Please, por favor.
That's it. I'm going to learn. I've got a crash course in Italian. I'm going to find somebody who, if anyone has any recommendations for somebody on YouTube that they know is teaching Italian and is a good teacher, I want to start from the basics and work up. So yes, I have got a rule book somewhere with that in, because I used to have to sing Italian, but I've probably forgotten. But there we go.
Apparently aubergine is melanzana. Melanzana, por favor.
Melon, like melon, so we should be able to remember that. Spaghetti aglio. Aglio is aglio. So it won't be aglio. I think it'll be aglio.
I think the G might
don't
be
think you pronounce
sharp.
the G.
It might be a G, a sharp G. Spaghetti aglio, or olio.
Anyway, we're guessing. We're gonna.
I like the last one. Pepperoncino.
Anyway, we need to learn some basic rules before we make fools of ourselves in front of millions of people watching us today, Mr. Duncan.
Yeah, well, all you do is just point. If you've got a finger, you can survive. That's what I always say. At the very least, that's it. Of course, nowadays we have technology, Steve. You can have a program on your phone, and you can say what you want to say to the person, and then press translate, and it will repeat in the native language, the language that you want to translate to. So there is never any chance of getting stuck for food.
But we want to, we don't. There'll be an annoying delay with that, so we want to be able to converse naturally, and that will impress and make people think that, they may be British, but they're not lazy British who just come here and think that we all have to speak English.
So here
for
we go.
them.
Then. Aglio. Aglio is garlic.
That's it. Yes, we've had that one. So that's it. So you've got aubergine, melanzana, and you've got garlic. So the two together should give you a lovely meal.
Wow. I have to say one thing. My appetite is building up just standing here talking about Italian food, I have to be honest. We can't wait, by the way, to see you in Rome. If you want to join us in Rome at the start of June, send me an email. I will put it on the screen again for those who may have missed it earlier. Here it is. So there it is on the screen right now. Send me an email. Say, Mr. Duncan, I want to come and see you in Rome. I want to stroke your shoulder. I want to touch your T-shirt. I want to touch your cap.
Well, last year, let's just remind people what we did when we met up. We met up around must have been around 11 o'clock, do you think? Something like that. Give people time to get there.
What do you mean?
When we met people in Paris last year, met our lovely viewers that met up with us last year. We went for a coffee. I think what we're planning to do is all go together to see some of the sights in Rome, and we will plan that nearer the time.
Yes.
But I think we'll leave that nearer the time.
Okay. So we don't have any details yet. Once I come up with the details, I will let you know. Send me an email and I will put you on the mailing list. But at the moment we have maybe 8 or maybe even 9 or perhaps 10 people coming, viewers coming to press some flesh in Rome. I can't wait, to be honest.
Claudia's been busy today. She's been sewing some trousers because they were too long, and now she's going to cook fish with mashed potatoes. So at least half of that meal is appealing to Mr. Duncan. So yes, still obviously been watching us, so still had time to put some comments into the live chat. So thanks for that. Oh, Beatrice said that she's going to eat macaroni a formaggio. Is that with? I think that's with cheese. Macaroni cheese is that, Beatrice. The important thing is to be with you. Well, don't forget what happened last year, Beatrice, is that whatever you ordered, you can't eat very much, but we just finish it off for you. So we'll get you to order lots of meals, Beatrice, and then we will just... You can have a couple of spoonfuls and then we'll finish the rest off. So don't worry about having any food left over. It was the same with my mother. My mother could never eat a big meal when we went out, and we just all used to finish it off for her. But it's going to be a lovely trip, so we look forward to that and to seeing any of you that want to meet up with us out there.
So you are able.
Don't forget the rule, though. You have to bring. You have to each bring us a gold sovereign. I'm joking. Maybe a piece of pasta.
Okay. Good. Mr. Duncan, it's been 10 years since I started following you in May. Thank you very much, Claudia. So you've been watching us now for 10 years. Can I ask why? That's what the joke we made last year, wasn't it, Steve? When we met up with everyone in Paris, we made the joke. We asked everyone. So you've all come to see us. Can we ask why? Because we're still confused why anyone would want to come and see us. Anyway, we will have a lot of fun, and we are really, really looking forward to it very much.
Francesca, I think Duncan has seen your email. Is that right?
I I get 20 or 30 emails a day. So
I know, but I'm just asking you.
At the moment, I can't remember.
Okay, then, right. Well, Mr. Duncan will reply when he gets a chance.
Yeah. Yes. All you have to do is send an email. And if I haven't replied, I don't know why. I don't know why I haven't replied, unless I haven't looked. So maybe I haven't looked at the emails, and maybe you've sent the emails to me, but I wasn't looking at the emails at the time. So maybe that's the reason.
Yes, Francesca, we can order calzone. Or is it calzone? Yes, which we do like. In fact, I prefer those because it's sort of folded over, isn't it, with a stuffing. And there's a famous episode in Seinfeld where the boss asks one of the characters to go out and get him a calzone, or is it a calzone? I think it's calzone. So yes, particularly look forward to one of those. Maybe we can have one of those when we all meet up.
Well, it's basically a folded pizza.
Yeah, delicious, and they sort of stuff it full of things. So yes, delicious.
Yeah, well, I've definitely got the taste now.
I'm hungry, Mr. Duncan.
For the Italian food, I can't wait. I really can't. Today, by the way, we do have a subject for those wondering. We are talking about words and phrases connected to hot, heat, being hot, having lots of heat. Hot, heat, things that are maybe hot with their temperature, or maybe there are other ways, of course, of using the word hot. Something hot or something that has lots of heat. We can express those words in many different ways. We'll have a quick break and then we'll come back and we will look at some words and phrases connected to hot, heat, because it is a very hot day here in the studio. English Addict is with you, and there were the cows. At the moment, we don't have any cows at the back of the house, but maybe soon we will. I will keep you informed on that. if you are interested, of course. It's a hot one. It really is today. And we are talking about words and phrases connected to heat, being hot, and all the other things that we can use as well to express those particular words and phrases. Mr. Steve is with us as well. There he is, Mr. Steve.
Hello, everyone. And yes, so we're talking about hot words, are we, Mr. Duncan? There's nothing on the live chat at the moment.
Hot.
Gatto. Gatto di patate. Anything with gatto sounds like it's sugary, fatty, cakey. We will be ordering that. Ice cream. Wonder what's Italian ice cream called? Gelato. Gelato. So we will be having plenty of that as well. How hot is it at the moment in Rome, Francesca? Maybe you can tell us. My sister was there a month ago and it was 36 degrees. So I think it's going to be probably near 40.
Well, yes. We'll see.
But Mr. Duncan's been buying some clothes to wear when we're there, some shorts, and we were going to need plenty of cool clothes to wear. No jeans. I don't think we'll be wearing jeans. We've got to wear lots of cool clothes while we're there. Cotton. And lots of Factor 50 sun cream. Bravo, says Alessandra. Thank you. I think I might have pronounced that correctly.
Good. Aziz is here. Hello, Aziz. Aziz. So I think at the moment, I did check the temperature, by the way, in Rome, Steve. That's why I was going to mention it. It's about 26, 25, 26, so about the same temperature as here at the moment.
All right.
It's
Well,
just
that'll be nice.
under 30, but I have a feeling by the time we arrive there in 4 weeks from now, I think it's going to be a little warmer. So I am expecting that to be the case. Talking of which, would you like to see some words and phrases connected to heat and hot? Well, I hope you do, because there are some coming on the screen right now. We have some words and phrases because it is all about English. The English Addict is with you every Sunday. Hot potato. Hot potato is the first phrase that we are going to talk about. It is a phrase that we use when we are discussing a sensitive subject, or maybe something that might be controversial, something that a person might avoid talking about, perhaps. We describe it as a hot potato. It is something that you can't hold for very long, or maybe something you don't want to hold. Hence the phrase hot potato. Can you think of something that might be a hot potato, Mr. Steve?
A sensitive, controversial subject, religion. It could be religion. Could be the conflict in the Middle East at the moment. That's a bit of a hot potato, because when you start discussing things like the conflict in the Middle East with friends, colleagues, people might have differing views, and they might be very, very tempted to hold very strongly to their views and try and persuade you, and you might end up in an argument or a fight. Yes, so I would say that's definitely a hot potato at the moment, because everybody has different views on that particular subject.
I certainly think one of the easiest ways to silence a room is say Israel. If you say Israel, everyone will go completely quiet around you. So you might say that particular subject and what is happening there and around abouts is definitely, without a doubt, a hot potato.
Yes, because these are subjects like religion, like politics, any subject that inflames people's passions and strongly held views, which could ultimately result in an argument or a conflict amongst your friends or family, then you could describe that as a subject that is a hot potato.
I think it's a good phrase as well, very expressive, because you can imagine something that you can't hold in your hand for very long. So maybe something that you avoid talking about would also be a hot potato. Here's another one, Steve. Something that is too hot to handle. Some people say that about us, our live stream. That's why sometimes people just can't stay for long, because it's just too exciting. It's too hot to handle, to be hard to control, or you have to handle something with care. It is too hot to handle. Maybe a person, maybe if you know someone and maybe they're a person who likes lots of fun or lots of excitement, you might say they are too hot to handle. They are someone who is very hard to maybe get along with or know. Or maybe, again, I suppose also a certain subject as well. So this might be similar to the one we just looked at. Something that is too hot to handle.
Claudio, talking of something that's too hot to handle, or a hot potato, in Italy, says Claudio, don't ask for ketchup on the pizza or spaghetti, or you could be endangering yourself. Yes, because it's going to be insulting to the chef that you want to smother their creation in something as lowbrow as tomato ketchup.
Yes.
So
things
yes,
like that.
We won't ask for that.
One of the things about the British, of course, is we like certain things. We like certain types of food. We like chips. We like tomato sauce or ketchup. And we also like baked beans as well. So those things we love here, but when we travel to other countries, we expect those things to be there as well. And quite often people are disappointed when they are not. Something that is too hot to handle can be too hard to control. You have to handle that thing with care.
Very commonly used to describe people. You might say, oh, why don't we have... I'd like to move Paul into your team. And then somebody in that team might say, I don't want him in my team. He's too hot to handle. Meaning he's trouble.
Yes.
Might cause problems in the team. Going to be a difficult person to manage. Somebody that's difficult to manage in a team at work, you could describe them as too hot to handle. They might have a fiery temper, something like that. In a relationship, they're too hot to handle. I dumped her because she was too hot to handle. Somebody that's just difficult to control, difficult to get on with.
Here's another one. Oh, by the way, today is Mother's Day in Brazil. Happy Mother's Day to Brazil.
Yes.
Thank you, Marcia. Today is Mother's Day in Brazil. The mothers of the families will come to have lunch at my house, so I can't participate in the chat, but I am following the class anyway. Thank you very much, and happy Mother's Day to Brazil. Here's another one, Steve. We're talking about heat and hot words. The heat is on.
The heat is on. Yes, often criminals will use that phrase, won't they? To describe the fact that the police might be onto them, and they can say, "Oh, the heat is on. The heat is on you." It means that you might have done something wrong, or maybe you weren't working hard enough at work, and your sales figures are down, or you've had an assessment from your manager at work, and they say to you, "Oh, you're not doing very well in these areas, whatever it is, whatever your work is." And then you might feel that the heat is on you. The heat, people are looking at you, watching you, assessing you. Maybe they're after you if you're a criminal. There's pressure bearing down on you for whatever reason.
Things are becoming difficult or challenging as well.
Yes.
So in your job, in your life, the heat is on. Maybe you are applying for a job, and maybe there are only 3 or 4 people left who are applying for that job. So the interviews will become much harder. You can say that the heat is on. Everything has become difficult. There are more challenges coming your way. The heat is on.
Yes, you might have had a nice relaxing job for a while, and suddenly from above there's targets, there's a lot of competition in the marketplace, and suddenly your job becomes more difficult because you've got to work harder and you're under pressure. You're being set targets that you've got to meet. The heat is on. The heat is on. It means that you're under pressure to do something suddenly becoming more difficult or challenging. Can we say scorching? Says as is. Yeah, that is a word you can use, scorching.
If something is hot?
Very, very hot. It's a scorching day today. It isn't scorching today. It's about 26 degrees outside, probably not that. But if it's a very hot day, if it's 40 degrees outside or 30 something, you can say it's scorching weather, because when something is scorched, it means it's almost in flame, but not quite.
Yes, it dries out to the point where it could at any moment catch fire. It's really. But of course, something that has been burnt and the fire has gone out, we can say that it has been scorched. So maybe something caught fire and then the fire was put out, but everything is now burnt and black. We can say that it is scorched as well. So yes, a good word there. I like that one. Here's another one, Steve. I'm sure you know lots of these.
Oh, yes.
What is a hothead?
Yes, somebody that's very quick to get angry. Somebody gets easily annoyed. Is a passionate person, probably emotional. Maybe their emotions rule them, and they're described as a hothead, somebody that very easily loses their temper and is seen to be somebody that doesn't have a very good control over their emotions. I would say is a hothead.
Yes, I
think be careful around them.
I think sometimes, Mr. Steve, you can be a little hot around the head. Sometimes
on the road,
yes.
I've become a hothead on the road.
Oh my goodness, you're like that character, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's like you've drunk some sort of potion and you've turned into this angry driver. Get out the way. Beep, beep. Something like that.
A hothead. Somebody that's probably, yes, their emotions are ruling them, are in control of their behaviour.
I think
they find it hard to control them.
Yes, I think it's safe to say many people, when they get behind the wheel of a car, because I think that's a very good point, you see. I think a lot of people become a hothead when they're behind the wheel of a car because they're under a certain type of pressure. They're in a very unusual, confined environment. So they become a little bit more annoyed or easily annoyed. Or maybe, of course, a reckless person as well. A person who often does things dangerous, or maybe they don't care about other people's safety. We can say they're a bit of a hothead. They just have no thought for other people.
Yes, so, don't upset the boss. He's a bit of a hothead, or she's a bit of a hothead.
That sounds like you're talking from experience there.
Yes, but we all know people that, particularly if they're in positions of authority, maybe it's your manager or your boss at work, they're probably under a lot of pressure. Maybe they don't handle the pressure very well. And if you do something to annoy them, they might start shouting at you. Or if somebody in a meeting starts shouting, or you might describe them as he's a bit of a hothead.
Apparently, hot or heat in Italian is testa calda.
Where's that?
If a hothead. Testa calda. Testa calda. Hey, testa calda. You're hothead. That sort of thing. That's a good one. Thank you. Thank you very much, Saturino, for that. To be hot under the collar. So when we talk about your collar, we are talking about this part of your clothing. So Mr. Steve also, you can see he has a collar on his shirt. So to get hot.
Hot under the collar. Yes, it means you get stressed, angry. Usually used, isn't it, to describe somebody that's... You could again be in a meeting and somebody's really annoying you and you can feel yourself getting more and more wound up, and then you start arguing with them, and you're getting hot. You literally do get hot under the collar, because if you've got a collar on, and when you get excited or upset, then your body heats up, doesn't it? And of course, if you've got a collar on, that heat can't escape. So you feel hot under the collar because the heat from your passion is trying to escape, which is why collars in hot sunny days. But it's not just to describe that you are hot. It's used to express that you are getting upset in some way, and that upset is causing you to get hot.
Yes. It is figurative. Hot under the collar, to feel stressed, angry, or of course excited as well, because if maybe, especially men, especially those Italian men watching at the moment, you like to see the beautiful ladies go by. You might see a very beautiful Italian lady go by, and you get you get hot under the collar.
Yes, I suppose it could be used to describe sort of, sexual attraction, getting excited from that. But commonly it's used if you're talking to somebody. It's used figuratively quite often. It's talking to somebody and they start to get very angry and irritated with you. And you might say to them, "Oh, there's no need to get hot under the collar." You're saying to them, don't, calm down. That's how it's commonly used.
Here's another one, Steve. This might also be connected to the previous one. To get hot and heavy. Hot and heavy. A passionate or intense manner. A person who is getting hot and heavy. They are getting passionate, like the Italians, or they have a very intense manner. You can say that they are hot and heavy.
Yes, usually used to describe someone who's trying to make, let's say, sexual advances on you. Say you go out for the evening. I'm imagining we're in Rome, and I see a beautiful Italian man. And he says, "Come back to my apartment." Well, he'll say that in Italian. I don't know what that is. And I'll go back, and he'll suddenly start to move closer to me on the couch, and maybe he'll start petting my neck, and then he might start to kiss me. And then I will say that you're getting a bit hot and heavy here, and I'll run out. And I probably won't run out. But it's when somebody's starting to get, getting passionate with you, kissing you and all that, and you might run out, and you might say to your friend at work, that your friend at work say, how did you go on last night with Mario at the club? And you might, I left because you got a bit hot and heavy. So you're really saying you didn't want that attention.
Yes. Well, hot and heavy, it can be a positive move or a negative one. So a passionate or intense manner. And I think Mr. Steve was getting very hot under the collar then when he was describing that scenario. I think so. Here's another one. Oh my goodness, another one. To have the hots for someone. So maybe you see someone you are attracted to. So quite often this is a personal feeling the feeling of attraction from one person to another. You have the hots for someone, to feel deeply attracted to someone. Maybe there is someone you have the hots for.
Yes, again, I'm imagining I'm sitting in a restaurant in Rome.
Okay.
And I'm glancing across the room, and there's a very attractive Italian man. And I'll turn around to Mr. Duncan and say, "Oh, I've got the hots for him." And then Mr. Duncan will get very angry, slap me across the face, and it'll all be over. Yes, no, but I'm joking, of course.
The only person slapping anyone's face will be the person you're staring at. They will come over and slap you in the face, I think.
Yes, again, Beatrice might see me looking across, for example, or Francesca, or anybody else that's coming along and with us, and they might see me staring at a man across the room, maybe, or maybe somebody I've seen in the Parthenon, and they might, Claudia might say to me, oh, not Claudia I don't think is able to go, but Beatrice might say, "Oh, have you got the hots for that man?" And I'll say yes. "Can you distract Mr. Duncan? I'm just going to get his telephone number for later."
It sounds like Steve wants someone to take him up to the Parthenon.
Can I just say, Marcia Helena Miranda Cardoso Podesta.
Okay.
Podesta. Says, "Thank you, Mr. Duncan." She also said earlier, "Thank you, Mr. Steve." Not sure why. Is it just for being here? It's very nice of you to say so.
I don't think anyone is thanking us for that.
Oh, I've got the hots for him.
Anyway, moving on. To blow hot and cold. An unsure person or conflicting behaviour. So maybe a person is sending out positive signals, or they seem interested, but then a few moments later or the next day they don't seem very interested. You can say that they are blowing hot and cold. An unsure person quite often will blow hot and cold. They can't decide. They can't come to a decision.
Or maybe they've just got, maybe they're just that kind of indecisive person, or maybe it's their emotions. Again, I'm imagining when we're in Rome, a man, a very attractive Italian man.
Oh, all right. Are you okay, Steve? I think Steve is getting excited because of the hot weather.
Comes up to me in a restaurant and takes me out for the evening, says, "Oh, you're a very attractive English man. Can I take you out for a meal?" And we have a lovely evening. And then the next day, he doesn't call me.
Understandable.
And so I phone him up and say, "What's wrong? You're blowing very hot and cold."
I was going to say something.
I know you were going to say something
I was
else.
going to say something there.
We won't go there. Yeah, so if you go out with somebody and they're all over you, you know, they're very attracted to you, they want to see you, they want to go out with you, they want to take you back to their apartment. And then the next day you leave, and then the next day they don't bother to call you. In fact, you don't hear from them for days, and then suddenly they call you up. "Oh, how are you? Oh, come round and see me. I'd love to see you again. We had such a wonderful evening together." And then again you go and you have a passionate evening, and then the next day, next week, you don't hear from them again. You say to your friend, "He's just blowing hot and cold all the time.
Yeah.
1 minute they want to see me, the next minute they don't."
Yeah. It can be any decision as well. Maybe you want a person to come to a decision about something, and then they keep changing their mind. That also can be described as blowing hot and cold.
Yes,
Here's
that's
another one,
right.
Steve. Hot to trot. I am hot to trot. I am very eager, very enthusiastic. I can't wait to do that particular thing. I am hot to trot for Italy.
Yes. Are you hot to trot? Yes. I mean, yeah, that phrase can be used. Are you ready to do it? eager to begin something. You can say that you're hot to trot, or you can say, oh, we're going out on a work trip. Are you hot to trot? Well, you wouldn't really. It's not a commonly used phrase these days, but you can use it. It just means, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you hot to trot? In other words, it's a bit like a horse.
Yes.
Trotting. Are you ready to go?
Yes. It's very eager. It can't wait. You might say it's champing at the bit, like a horse when it's excited.
No, I didn't mean that. Did I say Parthenon? Did I? I didn't mean the Parthenon. We obviously won't be going there in Rome. I think I was thinking of the Colosseum, was I?
Oh, Steve, please.
But anyway, we will be visiting
Please.
lots of places
Steve,
in Rome.
Stop. Please stop. There will be lots of ruins around Rome. And that's just me and Steve.
Well, there is something called the Pantheon, apparently, in Rome. Maybe that's what I meant.
Who knows?
Next
that
one,
it?
Mr. Duncan.
Oh, good.
I've got nothing else to say on hot to trot.
Hot to trot. You might feel the heat, Mr. Steve. Do you feel the heat? To be aware of the pressure one is under. So maybe you are feeling the heat. Very similar to the one we had earlier. The heat is on. So in this case, we are feeling the pressure of something. You can feel the heat. So not just from the temperature that you sense through your skin. Also, we are using this figuratively to say you are aware of pressure that you are under.
So that's similar to the other phrase we had before, isn't it?
Which phrase is that?
I can't remember, but it's something like, yeah, there was a similar phrase to that we had before, where you are feeling the pressure of something. We'd talked about it. I can't remember which one it was now. But yes, I mean, if you're feeling the heat, it means you're feeling the pressure. Maybe at work, maybe you've got a lot of work that has to be done by a deadline. Oh, I'm feeling the heat at work at the moment, you might say to your partner or your mother or a friend. You look a bit stressed, what's the matter? Oh, I'm feeling the heat at work at the moment. It means you're under a lot of pressure to get work done by a certain time.
You are really feeling the heat.
Yes.
Here we go.
Talking of hot to trot, Francesca's used that very word. You are hot to trot to visit the Colosseum in Rome. Yes, I meant the Colosseum, obviously, not the Parthenon. I'm hot to trot to begin my holiday, says Inaki. Yes, very good usages of that phrase.
I'm just wondering now whether Steve is really going to Italy, or maybe you are going to Greece instead.
Well, it depends. You see, that Italian man might want to take me to Greece.
Okay. Very interesting. Things are hotting up. The drama and excitement is growing. Can you feel it, Mr. Steve?
Yes, things are hotting up. It just means there's a bit more excitement. You usually use that in a positive way because maybe things are a bit boring and you want them to be more exciting, and you might say, oh, at last things are hotting up. And it could be, it doesn't mean, it could be a relationship. Is your relationship hotting up? Is it getting more serious, more passionate maybe? Again, I'm envisaging myself in Italy. No, I won't. Let's forget that.
I think we've all got the message now, Steve, about you and that strange man, that stranger sitting opposite you when you go to Italy.
Things are hotting up. And things are hotting up at work.
And his guide dog sitting next to him.
You can use that phrase a lot. Drama and excitement is growing. There might be a work project that is starting to reach its climax. You might, things are hotting up at work at the moment. There's lots of things going on. We've got this project going on, that project. There's always lots of projects, obviously, at work.
Always.
Francesca will know about that. Things are hotting up. There's been a period where nothing much is happening and suddenly lots of things are happening. Oh, things are hotting up. Yeah.
Things are getting more and more exciting. Something,
Could be a party.
Oh, Steve.
Could be a party. Could be going to a party.
good.
Ooh, things are hotting up.
Oh, yes. We've moved on now. Selling like hotcakes, Mr. Steve. Something is selling like hotcakes. Maybe Mr. Duncan's T-shirts are selling like hotcakes. Something is in high demand. It is selling fast. Get them before they have all gone. Something is selling like hotcakes. Something is in high demand. You might say that maybe tickets for a concert, maybe Taylor Swift is having a concert in your town, and everyone is trying to get tickets to go and see her sing her amazing songs, none of which I can name at the moment. They are selling like hotcakes. The tickets to the Taylor Swift concert are selling like hotcakes.
Because hotcakes are very desirable. Everybody wants them, and they always sell out very quickly. So yeah, it's in reference to something that sells very quickly. But there is something called the Pantheon in Rome, which sounds very similar to Parthenon, but there is something called the Pantheon, which is obviously what I meant to say. I'm joking. And is the best preserved monument in ancient Rome, says Maurizio. So we will have to go there.
I think
Maybe
so.
you'll take us. But yes, there we go.
Take me up the Colosseum.
In Alessandra says in Italy we say selling like bread. Yes, because bread smells lovely. Everybody, when you smell bread baking, oh, there's nothing quite like it, and it's delicious, and it will sell out very quickly. It's just referring to something that is selling very quickly.
Yes, something is in high demand or selling fast. Here's a good one. Strike whilst the iron is hot, or the iron's hot. Strike while the iron's hot. Do something at the best moment. Choose your moment to do something carefully. Maybe where the best opportunity arises. That is when you do that thing. You strike while the iron's hot. So I like that one.
Yes. So you could maybe you've been going out. You've been in a relationship with someone for a while.
Is
and
everything today seems to be connected to relationships or love or picking up someone
Yes,
in a bar.
Again, I could be in Rome. I chat into a lovely guy, and
Okay.
everything's going very well. And I wait for the perfect moment to ask him for his telephone number. Because the idea behind that phrase is that if you did something too early or too late, there is always a perfect time to do something when you've got maximum advantage or leverage to do that thing. And so striking when the iron is hot means that you do that in that perfect time. So maybe you've been in a relationship for a while, and it's all been going well. You've been getting on very well. You've met the in-laws, which is the parents of the person you're going out with. They've met yours. There were no arguments. There are certain milestones in a relationship, aren't they, that you need to overcome before you pop the question of, will you marry me? Well, if you did it too early in the relationship, they wouldn't know you well enough. But if you do it too late, they might be bored with you. So you've got to do it when everything is in a moment when it's going well.
Yes.
Getting on well, everything's going well. And so somebody might say, oh, you want to marry Julie, don't you? Well, everything's been going very well. If I were you, I'd strike while the iron's hot and ask her now. And but it's not just relationships. It could be anything.
Anything.
It could be. I can't think of another example.
Well,
off the top of my head,
it
Mr.
could
Duncan.
be an opportunity that comes up for a job a job, a vacancy, and you get in there.
Yes.
Because the job vacancy has only just been announced. So strike while the iron's hot. Take that opportunity when it presents itself to you.
Exactly. It could be you might be after a promotion, or you might be after a wage rise.
Yes.
Now, the time to ask would be, if you wanted a wage rise from your boss, the time to ask would be after you've just done something really, completed a really good project or something that's put you in a good light at work. That would be strike while the iron's hot. Do it then. Don't wait a week or 2 weeks when he's forgotten, or she, how well you did. Do it now, and then they might be more liable to give you what you want.
Yes. To be piping hot, something that is piping hot is at a high temperature. Something that is very hot, something that is piping hot. Maybe you've just got some bread out the oven. It's been baking for an hour and now it's lovely and brown and baked to perfection. And it is also piping hot. It is very hot to be at a high temperature. So anything that is very hot, maybe it is too hot to hold or touch, or maybe something that might be just too hot to drink. You have to wait for a moment. It is piping hot to be
piping hot. There's steam coming off it.
Yes.
Piping hot soup means that it's that you will see steam coming off it, and it would probably burn your mouth. You would need to let it cool down. If something's piping hot, it's probably on the verge of being too hot to eat, like soup. Like
my computer today in the studio is piping hot inside because it's so hot here in the studio, and my computer is struggling to stay cool. It is piping hot. And this is the last one we have for today. If you can't stand the heat, stay out of the kitchen. If you can't take the pressure, then you should not be there. Something that you can't handle or something you can't cope with is too difficult for you, so you should really go. You should go because you can't handle the pressure. You can't stand the heat. If you can't stand the heat, stay out of the kitchen.
Yeah, so you might be getting yourself into situations that you can't handle, and maybe a competition for something, to do something, and yes, it's referring to the fact that I'm just trying to think of a good example here where somebody would say that to you. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen.
Well, any situation, maybe in a job. So maybe the job is high pressure, and you have to deliver a lot of high performance every day. And at the end of the week, the boss will put you under pressure, and he will say, "Look, this job is very demanding. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen."
Maybe it's a high pressure sales job, something like that. A job that has a lot of pressure, and it's basically saying, well, if you can't cope with that pressure, then you need to look for another job.
So in that literal sense, you might say if you are in the kitchen, and quite often kitchens can be very hot places, and maybe it's too hot in there, so you have to get out of the kitchen because it's too hot. So if you can't stand the pressure, then maybe you should think about doing something else.
By the way, in Argentina and in Spain, they use the phrase "sell like hot bread." We say "sell like hot cake," "sell like hot bread." There have been similar expressions there, so maybe that's used more in sort of Italy, Spanish sort of countries. I can't wait to taste Italian bread.
Mm.
By the way, I often make some Italian bread in our bread maker. You put olive oil into it, and there's no sugar added, so it's nice and soft.
I like it when you go to an Italian restaurant and they give you lots of thick, crusty bread, and also they give you normally a bowl of olive oil, something you can dip your bread into as well, and it's delicious, very salty, but also very nice as well to eat. We have almost come to the end of today's live stream. Can I just mention again very quickly, we are going to be meeting up in Rome in around about 4 weeks from now. We will be in Rome, Italy, dancing around the streets of Rome. If you would like to meet up, please send an email, and I will put the email address on the screen right now. So there it is. Just say, Mr. Duncan, I would like to meet you in Rome. Here is my name, your real name, of course, not just the name you use on YouTube, and make sure I can contact you again with email, and I will make a list of all those interested, and I will send details to you directly, and then hopefully we will all have a very nice time when we get together in Rome. I can't wait, Steve.
Alessandra says there are lots of types of bread in Italy. Well, I look forward to tasting all of them.
Can't wait. Really can't wait.
Particularly a calzone
very
or a calzone.
Very exciting. Thank you, Mr. Steve, for joining us today.
Thank you, Mr. Duncan.
It's almost time to go.
It's been enjoyable. I haven't felt the heat today.
No.
I've managed to stay calm. Sometimes when we're on this live channel, I feel the heat a bit,
yes,
because I feel as though I've got to say something and contribute something around the meaning of a particular word, and maybe I can't think of it straight away. So sometimes I feel the heat, the pressure of having to be a good English teacher.
Yeah.
But not too much today. So look forward to seeing you all next week. And have fun learning English this week, as we will have fun learning some Italian. So ciao.
We will have to test ourselves next week. See you later, Steve.
Bye.
And there he was. Mr. Steve has left the building. I will also be leaving in a few moments. And we will join together again next week. We will be back together once more, and I hope we can do it all over again and have a little bit of fun as well. That would be ever so nice. Thank you very much for joining me. It's been a good one. It's been very lively. Lots of things to talk about. See you soon, and there will be a new lesson posted as well during the week. And that's it, really. I hope you will enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I will be going outside because the weather outside is absolutely gorgeous. We are having some very nice weather. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your involvement in today's live stream. See you next Sunday from 2 p.m. UK time. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of English, saying thanks for watching. See you again soon. Thank you very much for being here with us. And of course, enjoy the rest of your day. Ta-ta for now. See you next Sunday.